AEW All In is in the history book as the biggest wrestling event in history, and I was glad I watched it. I skipped one match, but it was only one. I expected to skip two at least, but it was only one. So the show opened with Better Than You Baby versus Ozzy opened. Ozzy opened. And as I predicted, Better Than You Baby won. It was a great opening. It was a great finish. And I was really glad that I saw Better Than You Baby win. After that, we had Hook versus Jack Perry. It was a weirdly hardcore match. I know that the IFTW Championship represents hardcore style matches, but I didn't expect this. And Hook won, of course, as I predicted, and the match was actually good. Next up, we passed the 0 hour and we go into the All In. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. It was a good match. I cannot say anything more, anything less. CM Punk retained, as I predicted. Next, Golden Cowboys versus Takeshita and Bullet Club. This is where I missed. Takeshita won, and I really want to point out how much I hate roll-up finishes, but I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Besides that, it was a good match, great spots. FTR versus the Young Bucks. FTR won, and if FTR have won, does that mean that now they're the best tag team in the world? And what now? Are they gonna retire? Does that mean that they should retire if they're the best tag team? What is happening when you're the best tag team in the world? Stadium Stampede match, I skipped it. There was too much blood for me. And I don't think this is necessary. The AEW Women's Championship, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, Saraya, and the current champion battled out. They fought, and the Outcasts were teaming up against Britt and the champion. And in the end, the Outcasts split because Toni Storm hit the mother of Saraya by accident. And that's why they basically split. And after that, Saraya won by pinning Toni Storm. And it's really weird how they split without even Ruby Soho being there. To be fair, she came out, she tried to stop everything, but she just made a really poor attempt to stop everything. And yeah, Saraya won. Outcasts are no more. Next, Darby and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage. As I just said in my predictions, Sting is gonna win. Sting never loses. Why should Sting lose? And I was satisfied with the match. I never truly understand the idea of a casket match because I feel like you should be really unconscious in order to go into a casket. Wrestling is not necessarily super believable, but the casket matches are extra unbelievable. It's just a few people can pull them off. Just a few. Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. I finally understand why Will Ospreay is so praised by everyone. And he's that good. Seriously, he's that good. Chris Jericho is superior as well. And that turned out into a great match. Of course, Will Ospreay won, as in my prediction. What's next for Will Ospreay? I don't know. As I said for the FTR, now that you're the best in the world, what's next? And what will happen with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara is really interesting, because after the match, Sammy Guevara tried to talk with Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho was like, "Get away from here. I don't want to talk with anyone." Next up, the Acclaimed versus House of Black. At the entrance of House of Black, they paid tribute to Bray, and that was really touching. But in the end, the Acclaimed won the match, as I expected. And really, another class act by House of Black is that they handled themselves the title to the Acclaimed. There was no disrespect whatsoever. Last but not least, it was actually great main event, except the finish. MJF versus Adam Cole. It was really interesting match because in theory they're best friends, and you could see in the MJF's face how he's super conflicted sometimes. If he wants to do a certain move to Adam Cole, for example, Power Driver on the announce table, or when Adam Cole had the chance to use a chair, he didn't use it. And at some point, they did double clothesline to each other, and they pinned themselves at the same time, and the match ended in draw, and basically repeated the same scenario as a couple months ago when they were having a match. And when Adam Cole requested 5 more minutes, MJF gave him infinite amount of minutes. And in the end, the finish, man. The finish. Why this finish should exist? This finish should be banned. The roll-up finish. The surprise roll-up finish should be banned. Like, whenever someone gets surprise rolled up, the referee should be... no, I don't accept that. This is the main event of the biggest wrestling event in history, and the finish is surprise roll-up. Sounds great, huh? But in general, the event was great. Is it really the biggest wrestling event in history? I'm gonna save my comments for now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.